I was going through a really challenging time in my life.
What was happening?
I had like a 9.5 year relationship. We split up and her father, unfortunately, took his own life. I lost my grandpa. Money was really hard. Car was getting repossessed. Lost my job.
What's one piece of advice, something you needed to hear?
I'm gonna cry right now.
Charles Mackenzie is a viral creator known for his lifestyle content, entrepreneurship, and focus on men's health, inspiring his growing community.
And this version that's sitting in front of me now, how different is he?
Very different. I used to pretend I was confident, but now I'm confident. Geez, man, we have so much to say. It also takes a lot of strength to like explain how you feel.
I was always afraid of being alone growing up. And then I learned that there's a difference between being alone and being lonely.
You're isolated in like your condo and you feel like it's only happening to you. But if you want to be successful, in shape, if you want to be a good dad, whatever it is,
What do you have to do?
this is something that I feel very deeply. First thing,
We find it very interesting that the majority of you who watch and listen to this show aren't yet subscribed to our channels across Spotify, Apple, YouTube. It would mean the world to us if you can do us that small kindness. It allows us to continue to bring on amazing guests week after week and continue to provide you with amazing value and content. It's the only thing we'll ever ask of you. If you can hit that follow or subscribe button, it would mean the world to us. Thank you so much and enjoy the episode. How long have you and your girlfriend been together?
like 4.5.
Okay.
So kind of like COVID time as well.
How'd you guys meet?
Similar story to you, actually. Like we met on an app, I think it was Hinge, but
Okay.
we matched and like maybe spoke once, like had a couple lines of banter and then both just went our separate ways. I guess deleted the apps, never spoke for like maybe a year, maybe, or less perhaps.
Interesting.
And then I think we like added each other on Instagram and started flirting or something, but we met one day in real life. She worked at the bar I used to work at in Ottawa. And I went in with my buddy one day and I saw her like, you know, serving tables and I was like, Val, we'd never met in real life. So I just called her over and, you know, it was kind of like good vibes. She brought us some tequila shots and then she moved in. She literally like, we started hanging out and no, seriously though, we always joke about this because we started hanging out and then, you know, they come over to your house, bring a little overnight bag and then they leave, the bag stays, they come back, there's a toothbrush and after a few months, you're like, hey,
Just stay.
I'm going to clean out the closet. You can put your stuff in here. And then, yeah.
What makes her right for you?
Oh my God, everything, dude. I feel like I'm like kind of hard to deal with because I'm such a like aspirational person. I'm a little bit like aloof in like my goals and my dreams. And that's hard for some people because they want like a realist. They want somebody like very grounded and safe a lot of times. And I'm like not that. And she like helps me so much. She doesn't help me at all. Sorry, that's not what I meant to say. She
doesn't help me at all.
No, she helps me all the time. No, no, I'm just like, she like builds me up in every single way that I've ever wanted. And I didn't even know I needed it. I didn't think there was a person that would do that for me. I thought everything would kind of be combative in a relationship and I would be the one who had to compromise. But we like really make a good team. She just accepts me. She like accepts me. She builds me up. She's my like teammate. Like we're best friends first, which is amazing.
I know. Isn't that such a hack to a good relationship?
Dude, I don't think it's funny because I don't know. I look at all these guys like trying to like find somebody and all this. I just feel really lucky and I want this for everybody. Like I want everybody to understand what a real partner like looks like. And I feel like until you find it, like you have no idea it even exists. Do you know what I mean? So she, she's the best. Like she literally is the reason I'm becoming like successful and able to live the life I live. Like if it wasn't for her, like I don't know like where I would be, to be honest. But yeah.
What makes you hard to deal with?
I actually don't think I'm super hard to deal with like regularly. I just think, I don't know. I feel like I intimidate people with the things I want to accomplish sometimes. And things don't really seem realistic to a lot of people. Like I want to, you know, one day I want to be an actor. Like I want to build a brand. Like I want to become a content creator, which was a dream at one point. Now I'm doing it. So it's crazy.
And you were an iron worker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah.
Which also very, honestly, honorable career, and everybody who does that like deserves the most respect. Like,
It's hard work.
oh my God, it's one of the hardest trades, dude. It's so
Yeah.
dangerous too. Like, no, it's nuts. But yeah, so I was an iron worker for a long time, and back then I knew I wanted to be more, but I didn't quite know how. And I think just that not being able to channel and funnel that energy, but having those like goals can make you hard to deal with, especially if you're trying to grow, but you don't know how, and there's other people around you like trying to push you in different directions and tell you like, oh, you should just do this, or you should be realistic or whatever. Like, I think I'm very defensive with like my energy and like those things. So I think I could be hard to deal with because of that. But that's like a younger me. Like I think I'm good now. Like I'm a very stubborn guy, but I'm a good communicator now, whereas I used to not be at all. And I think that's like the key to everything is communication.
Why?
Well, wouldn't you agree that communication is important?
I do.
Yeah.
But I want to know why you think it is.
Because you like hold everything in, like all the time. You have so much to say. I feel like, especially as men, we have so much to say, and we never say it because we feel like our duty as a man is to just and like push forward, which I do believe to be true. But it also takes a lot of strength to like explain how you feel, why you feel those ways, and what you can do to get through it. And it's easier to run than to communicate a lot of the times. Like I feel like in past relationships, like looking back with the perspective I have now, it's like, oh, I was a coward. Like I could have communicated my way through this. Like a relationship is work. It's two people building towards the same goal. And anytime things get rough, like I used to just kind of run the other way and point blame in other directions. And then I learned how to communicate better. And I realized like, oh, these are just regular problems that we can solve as a team.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I find it really crucial. Like it is the core of the onion is communication. Cause like those are my girlfriend is who I'm going to be with like forever. Like what are we not going to talk? You know what I mean? We have to be able to communicate if we're going to last forever. Mm-hmm. And the more you talk, the easier things become. The easier it is to even communicate over time. It's like going to the gym. It's a muscle. You just have to work at it, put in the reps, and then communicating just becomes like second nature.
What would you say to guys who struggle in the communication department? Like you talked about how you didn't know how to communicate or you didn't communicate and then you sort of started doing it. So what's that learning curve like? What do you have to do?
Well, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm like qualified to answer this question, but I could tell you what worked for me.
Yep.
Mushrooms.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about this briefly.
Yeah.
I started microdosing mushrooms after I transitioned out of ironworking. Mm-hmm. I went into real estate, and there was like a lot of like high value people around me at the time. Went to like some work parties. I didn't even know what it was, and they were like microdosing mushrooms, and they were having a blast. I'm like, oh, these people like make all this money, and like they're microdosing mushrooms. To me, that sounded like
just
crack,
party drug.
Yeah, like I was like, what are they doing? Like these guys are animals, you know? Yeah. But then I learned a little bit more about it and I tried it and, it kind of just like, I don't know, elevates your mood slightly, I suppose, because it's like such a small, have you done it before?
I have not no. I've been itching to try it.
Oh, dude.
But I want to try it in the right setting.
So are you trying to do like a whole dose or like a microdose?
I think I'd start with a microdose.
Yeah. Well, you can do a microdose here and you'd be fine.
Okay.
Like nothing will like change because essentially like it takes like 1.5 grams or 2 grams of mushrooms, I think, to like get like a full trip or like the beginning of it. I've never actually done that much. I've only ever really microdosed or done like 1 gram at the most. But what a microdose is like 1/10 of a gram.
Okay.
So it's like a little capsule, like it's like a vitamin almost.
So is a microdose essentially the benefits of sort of opening up your cognitive function without the trippiness that comes with completely?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, like I didn't know that at the time.
Right.
That's something I learned by like just repeatedly microdosing. And that didn't really happen for me until like 3 months in. Okay. But yeah, you don't really trip. Like you don't trip at all. Like you don't get like high.
Right.
So I took it like once and then I did it again like 2 weeks later. And then I don't know, every 2 weeks for like 6 months or something. And it kind of lasts like a whole week. Like you do one microdose and it kind of just like elevates your mood for an entire week. It's really amazing, dude. Like,
is there a crash from it?
No, like not at all. And it's one of those things where it like, it made me want to be like better when I would like microdose, like, oh, like I'm eating healthier, like I'm drinking less, like I'm exercising more.
Yeah.
Just my mood was better. Anyway, then one day, 3 months into microdosing, I had this moment. I was sitting in the office with my buddy and I'd microdose. And this one got me a little giggly. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's like, oh, I'm kind of feeling like a little funny. Like, let's go for a walk. So we walked around the block and I was going through a really challenging time in my life.
What was happening?
A lot of things were happening. We can get into it, but it hit me like a ton of bricks. We were just walking and I've never had like an epiphany before, but this was one. Like, it was interesting. And I explained it like I like reached into my own brain and opened a door that I didn't know was there. And I looked in, I was like, oh my God, I could like choose to be happy. I can choose to fight these problems in a different way. Like I don't have to be depressed. I don't have to be like self-deprecating, like it just switched my entire brain chemistry. I think microdosing over 3 months like changed my brain for the rest of my life. And now I feel very armed with like the tools I need to battle those tough conversations, or whether it's like tasks at work that are overwhelming.
Because you have the tools now.
Yeah, like I feel like
you've used them.
I feel healthy. My brain feels healthy, which is insane. And I haven't microdosed in like a year and a half, 2 years probably. I don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
It kind of just like changed me and it works. And maybe like once a year, if you wanted to like microdose or something in the summer, like to, uplift your mood, whatever. I was thinking about it, but things are going well, so I don't really need it.
Yeah.
And I don't think you should do it because you think you need it. Just if you want to try it. But yeah, dude, it was insane. So that to me was like the turning point in my life, for real. Like it
and
cured everything.
What was happening? You said.
Yeah, there was a lot. At the time I was dating, I had like a 9.5 year relationship, and we split up. And around the time we split up, I lost my grandpa, lost my job. And I used to say this all the time. I was like, oh, all these bad things are happening to me. And I'm just like, I used to like make it like my personality, but now it was a very unfortunate time. Her father, unfortunately, took his own life as well. And we were really close. Like, we worked together. That happened after we split up, shortly after. And I didn't really have a place to live. So I was like bouncing around, like staying on couches, live with my grandma, who was also now no longer with us. Ultimately, it was just a tough time, like money was really hard. Car was getting repossessed. I was like so stressed that I fainted while driving one day, lost my license. Like, it was just a very hectic period of my life. And that all happened around the same time I like started microdosing. And then I think that helped me a lot, to be honest. But yeah.
If you were, if I was a fly on the wall watching you at that stage in your life, what would I have seen?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm afraid to answer. Probably somebody who wanted to be perceived as cool and popular and wanted attention. Yeah, I would say I would just leave it at that. Yeah.
And this version that's sitting in front of me now, how different is he?
I don't know. Very different. Like, I don't go out anymore. I feel a lot more. I think I used to pretend I was confident, but now I'm confident. I think that's like the difference. Yeah, I think I'm just a lot more confident and comfortable with who I am now. I've kind of like, that was a period where I was just like looking for myself almost. And I didn't think it was obvious, but I think if I was a fly on the wall, it would be clear as day. Like, this guy's like, and I can see it in other people now too. Cause I'm like, I was like that once.
Can recognize it.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I used to go out and party, drink all the time, mess around. And like, I would always like I never wanted to be like alone. So I would like always call friends like, hey, want to hang out? Like, I just wanted to be out all the time, like doing stuff. Now, like, leave me alone forever and I'm good, Yeah.
Oh my God. I can resonate with that.
Can you?
Yeah. I love my alone time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you obviously you live with your wife?
Yeah, I do. But even then, sometimes, for example, she'll have a work dinner or something. We talk about this regularly too, where, I'm out for something and she tells me, she's like, I love just having 3-4 hours to myself. She's like, and it has nothing to do with you. It has all to do with me and just my need to reset
100%.
and just be in my own space and closed off type of thing.
Do you resonate with that as well?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And, it's funny because when I'm not with her, I'll text her like, I miss you. I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like looking forward to just being able to just sit on the couch, put something stupid on TV and just do
Right.
nothing.
Yeah.
Now I could do that if she was there, but there's just something different
It's
about
not the same.
being in silence in your own thoughts and just having that moment to reflect on whatever you want to think about type of thing. I was always afraid of being alone growing up. And I was always afraid of living alone and all of these things. And then I learned that there's a difference between being alone and being lonely.
Oh,
And I think
yeah.
I was more afraid of being lonely than I was of being alone. And when I learned to live with myself, I was like, oh, this is actually not so bad. I actually have the ability to just hear my thoughts,
Yeah.
not distract myself with so much else.
When did that click for you?
That would be after my ex-wife packed her bags and left.
Oh,
Yeah.
here we go. There's lore.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, I think it was the end of February 2020, one morning, you know, it was kind of like similar to you when you were talking about, like, you weren't your best self and you didn't communicate the way you should have, but you didn't have the toolbox to do it. And even the toolbox you had when you open it up, there's nothing I can use in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there were ways that I didn't show up in my relationship that, looking back now, I'm like, I was at fault here, and
Yep.
here. And so that relationship started to fall apart. And then one day she's like, I'm out. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm going to distract myself. I'm going to go out. I'm going to party. I'm going to drink.
Yeah.
I'm going to do everything I can to ignore the shit that's going on and brewing inside.
Yeah.
And then the lockdowns happened. And that's when I was like, all right, well, now I'm stuck in my condo alone and I can't go out. I can't watch sports on TV. I can't go meet friends. It just forced me to just go, oh, okay, this is what sitting in silence with myself actually feels like. And it was uncomfortable
Oh, yeah.
for a little bit. It was not even a little bit. It was uncomfortable for a long time. But through that, I realized how loud the noise in my head was. And then I started to piece together almost like a self-understanding of why the noise was so loud, why that obnoxious roommate upstairs was just constantly negative self-talk. I failed here. I didn't do this. I'm not good enough for that. I'm never going to succeed, and all these different things. And similar to you, I think one day it just kind of clicked and I was like, all right, I got to do something about this because this is not going to end well. And that became a journey of just self-discovery, right? Learning, reading, listening, talking, fumbling my way through conversations, but practicing, training that muscle. And eventually it got me to a point where I started to meet other men who were in similar situations or had gone through something, where they would start sharing advice and their stories, and I would learn just by listening and watching. And then that kind of became the blueprints, the roadmap that I was now following.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I can't imagine living the way I had done all those years ago. So when you talk about that, I completely resonate with it.
Right.
I'm like, this version of Samir that exists today, none of this happens. The podcast doesn't happen. The public talks don't happen. Nothing. None of it happens if I was still in that cage,
Yep.
mentally and emotionally.
100%. And when you say like you meet other men and you learn from them and talk to them, do you think that like contributed to you feeling less lonely? Because when I feel like you're isolated in like your condo and you're going through all that, you feel like it's only happening to you.
Yeah, that's a great question, because I think men in general struggle really profoundly when they're feeling something negative, because they feel like they're lonely, like they're alone in this world. There's nobody that could understand them, and they are somehow unique, and their troubles are unique. And the reality is I had to, almost slap myself in the face and wake up. You're like, no, you're not unique in this regard.
Yeah.
100,000, a million, whatever that number is, men have gone through divorce, bad breakups, business breakups, whatever. Something that has made them feel the way you feel, Samir.
Yeah.
And if they've survived it and have gone through it, and some have gone on to live incredible lives, then you can too.
Yeah.
You're not unique. So have the conversations. And while you might end up talking to someone who has not gone through something like this, but has experienced some sort of traumatic incident in their life, and they share with you, there might be a little piece in there that you learn. Out of the hour-long conversation you have, there might be 2 minutes in there that you take away and you're like, this actually helps me take a step forward.
Yeah.
And it's why I always encourage men to have conversations with other men, because tend to have conversations with women because we feel like they won't judge us because they're so good at talking.
Yeah.
Right? They've grown up with that. Whereas we've grown up thinking, to your point, we don't talk. We bury that. Man up, move forward, shut up. Right? And then when you start to have these conversations, you're like, wow, this is actually really nice. This feels good.
Yeah. Like it's like a release.
It's a release, but then you're kind of like looking around like, is anybody judging me? Can I do this again? I want more. Like I want to talk more. I want to get this out. There's so much I have to say.
Yeah.
And so when you see more men have these kinds of conversations, I think that's how you change the narrative around men's health.
I think so too. I like to embrace those moments when they happen because it's so rare. I have some friends, I lived in Ottawa for like 7.5 years. I have some friends there who like really helped me along the way. And you remind me very much of one of them. His name's Nico. He's a tattoo artist. And he's like the first guy I ever openly communicated with about like my mental health or like feelings and anything like that. And yeah, it is just you need to break the ice with it, find somebody to talk to, and then just put in those reps and like decide who you want to be too. You know what I mean? Like if you want to be successful, if you want to be in shape, if you want to be healthy, if you want to be a good dad, if you want to live somewhere else one day or whatever it is, what does that person do every morning? The person you want to be, do they wake up at 9 a.m. and like scratch their nuts and like eat potato chips? Or do they wake up at 4 a.m. and go to the gym?
Yeah.
And a lot of people want to be that person first and then do the work after, but it's the other way around.
Yeah.
You got to just walk blindly like into the storm. Be like, okay, the guy I want to be wakes up at 4 a.m., goes to the gym. He eats healthy. He works hard. He's a good dad. He's a good listener. You know what I mean? He's a high producer, whatever it is. You can just fake it till you make it.
There is something to be said about doing that exact thing.
Yeah, you're archetyping the person you want to be like through action.
Yeah.
It's real.
It's no different than if you want to get into incredible shape, going to the gym for the first time, right? You might feel like you don't belong, but you have to go. You have to you have to lift that dumbbell. You gotta do that first rep, and it's gonna suck, and it's gonna be painful, and you're gonna fumble your way through, and you might hurt yourself along the process, along the journey rather. But it only gets better from there. Yeah,
and the same thing. Oh, sorry to cut you off.
No,
same
please.
thing's true from like mental health.
Yep.
Like if you want to feel better, have more positive thoughts, it starts with communicating how you're feeling, like expressing. I think it does. Yeah. Expressing how you're feeling, but also I think a lot of other things come into play, like your routine and your diet. Like that's a huge factor.
Diet is huge.
Yeah.
That was a hack for me. Understanding what I was putting in my body was actually messing me up.
Yeah.
Again, in that process, in the pandemic, going through a really shitty divorce, I just started binge eating greasy fried food because it felt good. And then it just compounded. Yeah. And then next thing I know, all of the work I had done years prior in the gym were basically thrown out the window. Mm-hmm. And it was only until really the beginning of this calendar year, 2025, that I was like, yeah, I've been kind of going to the gym, but now I really got to take it seriously. And that's when I started running. I was just like, I need to do something I really don't like.
You started running this year?
Yeah. And I don't like running.
And you've already done like 2 half marathons, or you've done one, you're about to do another?
Well, the longest I've run is a 30-kilometer.
Dude. Yeah, I know. Everyone told me.
But the point is, I don't like doing it. I still don't like doing it because I don't enjoy the act of running. I find it boring.
Really?
I'd prefer to play a sport where there's a competitive angle to it and I'm still getting the same level of cardio.
Do you think that's because there's other people involved? You don't like to like do it by yourself, or?
No, I'm very competitive. And I think what drives me on the run is almost beating my own scores, my own time, my own distance. Nice. I'm going to be running my very first race soon, and I'm excited, but also curious as to how I'm going to show up mentally, emotionally, and physically. But I've made it a motto, a personal mission, where I'm going to do something hard every day. And whatever that hard thing is, I'm going to make that my priority for the day. And it's the same for setting long-term goals and short-term goals. So, this year running a half marathon, next year I want to, run an ultra marathon, which I think is 70 kilometers. And then the year after I want to do a triathlon and an Ironman. And like, I don't know if I could do any of that shit, but I'm sure as hell going to push myself smartly. I'm not going to hurt myself.
Well, I mean, you might.
Very possible.
Didn't you run your 30K?
And then
you were supposed to go for a 5K and you ran 30 and you hurt yourself?
Yeah, that's a problem. I gotta learn how to like tailor it back.
Like
but it's kind of like what you were talking about too, where it's like, you know, you have these aspirational goals, and sometimes when you describe them to someone, they might be like, bro, chill. Like, who do you think you are? What are you trying to do? There's people in my circle that when I've said to them, you know, I'm 37 years old. I've never run a 5K, and now I want to run a half marathon. And they're like, come on. And here I am running half marathons on the weekends, training to actually run one in a race.
Yeah.
The point is, when I decide I want to do something, I'm going to do it.
I'm the exact same way.
And I've learned that there's going to be people who genuinely care about you, but will also still, I don't want to say want to see you fail.
Oh, don't get me started on this. We were just talking about this the other day.
But they don't want to see you win.
That's dude. Yeah.
Because if you win, it's a reflection of how they're not winning.
100%.
And that makes them feel bad. And so while it may not be personal, where like replace you with someone else in that equation and that person would still feel the same way.
Yeah.
It's more about them. And it's taken me a while to understand that.
That's hard though, because like you take it as like almost an attack.
Always.
Yeah. But
it's instinct. It's the first feeling you get. You're like, why? Why me? Why are you
Yeah.
attacking me? I'm so nice. I'm just trying to, you know, like I thought you were my friend.
Yeah. I thought you loved me. Yeah. No, but you have to, that's like, dude, I struggle with that too. Obviously like being online and stuff, like hate comments.
I bet.
But even people in like my own circle, like you kind of get vibes sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned, and I'm not executing 100% of the time like that, but I've learned that it is more a reflection of them that does have anything to do with me. But you'll also notice like nobody who is successful will like shit on anybody else. They just want to build you up. They like want to see you also succeed because, well, I think it's because I feel like I'm not there yet, but I think because they've gone through it and they've made them become successful or whatever, they've probably dealt with all the same things that, you know, I'm going through or we're going through, and they don't want to participate in that at all. They would rather be like the opposite. As an example, like just as an example, there's a gentleman who owns a fragrance company. I want to start a fragrance company. It's one of my biggest passions.
Interesting.
I don't want to like say too much about it today, but it's something that is a goal of mine, and in the future you'll probably see. But this guy owns a pretty successful fragrance brand, and we somehow connected. I don't know how the stars aligned, but sat down for like dinner with him in New York. And actually, this is crazy. We dined in the same room as Paul McCartnney, and nobody even cared. I was like, this is the weirdest. Yeah. That's Paul McCartney. Like,
and everyone's like, just on their own business.
Yeah, there's it's just Paul. Like, it was so weird. Yeah. Anyway, so all that to say, like, this man's like super successful, right? And he believed in me. He was like, you can totally do this. I was like picking his brain about like what to do and blah blah. And he's like, we like kind of walked home after, and he was like, I had a lot of people help me on my journey. And he's like, I would love, like, I see this like spark in you, and like I'm here to help you, whatever you need. If you need to connect with my people, like he's putting me in touch with like everybody. Like it's amazing. But there's like 2 weeks before that, I had like friends almost say like, oh, like that's like really hard. Like you're gonna need all this money, you're never gonna do it. And then I sit down with this guy who's doing it, and he's like, no, you need like $5,000 to like $15,000, and like I'll connect you with the right agency, and like you'll be fine. I'm like, oh. You know, you got to just like listen to the you know, I don't know. Anyway.
No, you're absolutely right.
It's just the people who are doing it are a lot nicer than the people who aren't.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there was, I hope I don't butcher this. I literally read it a few days ago. So there's a story. It's like an analogy. A grandfather tells his grandson to take this rusty old watch to like a thrift shop and see how much they'll give him for it. He goes in and he shows them the watch. They're like, oh, you know, I'll give you maybe like $100 for it. And the grandfather told the grandson explicitly, don't sell it. Just ask how much they would give you for it. So the first space says, okay, we'll give you $100. Grandson says, thank you, walks away. Goes to another shop. We'll give you $500 because it's old, it looks cool, that we could do something with it. Grandson walks away. Calls his grandfather. He's like, hey, $100 here, $500 there. You know, what do you want to do? He's like, you know what? final stop, go to the museum, show him the watch. He's like, okay. Goes to the museum, confused, walks in, asks to see the curator, talks to him, shows him the watch. He's like, what would you give me for this? And the curator looks at it, examines it, eyes go wide open, and he goes, this is worth $500,000. He calls his grandfather excited. He's like, 500, like so much money. What do you want to do? And he literally tells him, he goes, just because you were in the wrong place and they told you your thing was only worth $100 doesn't mean it's actually worth $100. That's what they value it at.
Right.
You're in the wrong room if the people that you're with value what you do and what you bring and who you are for less than what you believe it's worth.
Oh, wow.
So put yourself in the right room.
That is powerful.
Yeah.
Dude. I'm
and
fired
I was just
up
like,
right now.
it was amazing. And I was like, you're absolutely, and I was just thinking about it. And I'm like, the number of times I've had conversations about things I want to do, this podcast, for example, where I'm telling people like, I want to do this. And they're like, oh yeah, but, and then you get into another room or you have a conversation with someone else who's like, oh, this is going to be amazing. This is how you do it. And all of these things. And you're like, yeah, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Change the room.
100%.
Just get out of the room and go to another room.
Just being in that situation I described in New York with this guy, I was like, these are the types of people, my energy that I have, like these are the types of people I want to be around.
Yeah.
It's life changing if you're with the right people. Like it is true. Like, what is it? The sum of the 5 people you hang around with is going to like
a reflection of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, dude, I like that.
Yeah,
it was try to remember that. But.
Yeah, again, I wish I could quote whoever wrote it. It's just like I came across it on Instagram and was just like reading it, and I was like, wow, this is powerful. Like whatever this is, I want to remember this story all the time.
It's almost sad too, though, because like the people who, I don't know, let's just call them naysayers. Like they don't believe like you can accomplish these things. Like I really wish they could grasp that they only like life happens one time.
Yeah.
Like you only get one shot. Like it's actually insane. This is something that I feel very deeply. Like I feel this all the time. Every day I look at as an opportunity. And it doesn't mean I'm like the best every single day. Like I have days where like I feel depressed or I'm off or I don't eat well or like I sleep in. And I reflect on those days at the end and I'm like, oh damn, like I feel like I got to get back on my horse here because like I can't be wasting my days like this. They're limited. And having these dreams and having these like goals are amazing. Like it's like that is what life is about. It's like it's about building your own dream story. And like look around, bro. Anything is possible. Like people build skyscrapers, people like invent things all the time. They start companies. It's you can do anything. People do whatever they put their mind to all the time. And a lot of these naysayers, like, I don't know if I just wish like I could change their brain to like believe in themselves more, because I feel like they just lack that self-belief and they, like we said earlier, project on others. But I feel that really deeply. I feel like every single day is my chance to like do something to build my dream life. And I don't think there's anything I can't do. Like that's a little bit of a delusional mindset almost.
But you need a little bit of that.
Oh yeah. Like I don't think you'll ever be brave enough to try things if you're not delusional.
No, every successful entrepreneur I've ever spoken to has some level of delusion to them. If you were to take away all of their success and you just put them in a room and listen to them talk, you'd be like, this guy's delusional.
Yeah.
They're like, he's out of his fucking mind.
Yeah.
But then when you bring all the success back to them and you go, oh,
yeah,
you had to be. Like you have to think, yeah, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to launch this project. I'm going to build a fragrance business. I'm going to launch a podcast. I'm going to, because nothing happens if you don't literally go, I don't know the first thing about this, but I'm going to learn.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try, and I might fall on my face. But if nothing else, I'm going to give this the best shot I have.
Yeah.
And if it works, great. If it doesn't, there's so much learning that I've just learned from this, and this will be used as my foundation for the next thing I work on.
That's the best perspective too. Like every time I've like lived like 8 lives. So I feel like I did like ironworking, music, bartending, real estate, now content. And I didn't know I would be here, but I was checking off things that I didn't like doing. It was like trial and error. Yeah. It's just like, oh, that's not working for me. What's next? And you got to just kind of switch it up and like keep trying new things. And I think part of it's because I always had that, there was something in me, again, I couldn't like channel that energy, but I knew I got to go in like a different direction. I got to just try. And I think if you have that, like eventually you'll find something that works for you. You got to like listen to your gut.
Yeah.
It is tough for some people though. Like if you already have like a family and like, you know, and
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like there's other considerations. It's easy for me to sit here and say a lot of this when, you know, like there could be some guy in his 40s, 50s with a family and a job and thinking like I can't take these kinds of risks, and that's totally understand that.
yeah.
I still think that even in those scenarios though, there are enough hours in the day where you can allocate some of your free time towards something that fuels you.
Yeah.
And even if that thing doesn't pay you, it fills your cup in another way.
That's
And you
huge.
have to find those things. Otherwise, you're just a robot and you're basically living day to day just to get through to the next one.
I think that's 90% of people.
Absolutely.
It's so sad, dude. Like it's insane.
I see it all the time.
My brother is struggling with that right now. He like hates his job, and he's like, I don't know like what to do. And he's like the funniest, most charismatic guy I've ever met in my life. Loves sports. And I'm like, I don't know, like I want to help, but it's like, how do I, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, I don't know. I was threw it out there because, you know, I do videos and stuff. So it's like, maybe you should just do like reaction videos because you're fucking hilarious, bro. Like I know I would watch him.
Yeah.
And I think people would love him too. And I'm like, maybe you should just like react to like these sports videos or whatever it is that you love to do. It's like, yeah, I don't know. But I think that's a phase, like not a phase, but a stage that you have to struggle with for a bit before you evolve and like
Yeah.
blossom into something else. But yeah, there's a pattern for sure with like most people. But the first thing like to get better, I think, is you have to realize that like you're not happy. Like you have to realize that. And
Can't live
then
in denial.
you have to want to change. Yeah. But it's sad like seeing him like go through that and not love his job and not know where to go. Like you have, you know, I was there.
I think a lot of us have been there.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been there.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, we rationalize our jobs because they pay us an income.
Yep.
And we go, yep, this is basically that dollar figure that appears on my paycheck or in my bank account. That is the cost of my happiness. That's
Yeah.
what I'm trading
Yeah.
every week type of thing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And so to do that and to consistently do that day after day, week after week, and not find something that fuels you in some other way. Because again, and this isn't a shitting on the 9 to 5, because there are people that I've met who work 9 to 5s who are in love with their jobs.
Yep.
Or love what they do, and it
100%.
fuels them. And then there are others who I've met who hate their jobs, but they have such a fulfilling life outside of work
right.
that their jobs don't define them. And yes, they complain about their jobs because, you know,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
My job's I'm living my dream and I complain about my job sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But it's natural, right?
Yeah.
Anything that requires you to do it because it's now a stream of income, you'll complain about it in some way because you need it.
Mhm.
But it goes back to constantly just make it a point, find something that fuels you, that fills your cup. I don't care. Draw, paint, like whatever, something.
Yeah.
You know, like don't be one of those people that works the job, gets home, basically stews for 4 or 5 hours about how upset they are with their lives.
Yeah.
Go to sleep, wake up, do it again, comes back home, stews for another 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah.
You're going to kill yourself. You're going to die young.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's my nightmare. It's my actual nightmare.
It's same, man. It actually scares me, the idea of going back to living in that kind of an environment.
100%.
To living in that type of, and again, this, for anyone listening, watching, this is not a shitting on, you know, the regular day job as if that's a bad thing. There's so many people that work day jobs who are so happy. It's just about, if you're not,
Yeah.
then you have the power to do something about it.
100%. Yeah. Like if you're like working a day job and you're listening to this and you're like, oh, I want to make a change. Like you can. Like
You literally
people-
can start today.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it could be as small as going to the gym and, like you said, filling your cup. For me, that's huge. Like I'm a very, like me personally, like I have a lot to give, but unless I fill my cup first, like I'm an empty vessel. There's nothing to give. I just feel like I need to start with me every single day. Love myself, like 3 hours, stretch, workout, sauna, hot tub, whatever it is, get my mind right. And then I'm like the best version of myself.
Why is that part important? This routine, the wellness elements, so the reason I ask is because I'm very heavily invested in the health and wellness movement. I don't call it a trend, it's a movement, because I think people have made conscious decisions to change the way they eat, sleep, what they drink or don't drink, what they eat or don't eat, the way they take walks, sunlight, like everything. Everyone these days has some focus on improving their health, which I think is incredible, by the way. I think it's about time. True. I think the pandemic actually, that was one of the positives coming out of the pandemic. We realized how unhealthy we were in so many areas of our lives. So tell me about your routine and why that's important for you.
I'm a little out of my routine right now, to be honest with you. Battled a couple injuries and just got complacent. But I'm feeling the effects of not having that routine, and I'm like desperate for my routine back. But when I'm dialed in, my ideal morning is I rise at 4:30. I take my time getting out of the house. I might even read a book for half an hour by like a little light. I'll walk to the gym, listen to like a slow jazz music, or sometimes I like to put on spa music just to really like zen out. I feel like I get really triggered and stressed very easily. So just to ground myself is very important for me. So in the gym by like 5:15, stretch for like 30 minutes. That's important for me as well. Just my body needs it. Hit my workout. And then, the reward is the hot tub. It's just so nice. I love the smell of like chlorine in the hot tub. And then a little sweat in the sauna after always helps too. But after the reason it's important to me is because no one else is going to take care of me. Like I have to do that for me. And if I don't do it first thing, I'm so busy, I'll fall behind and I just won't do it. And then I'll be stressed all day thinking like, oh, I have to get my workout in, I have to get my workout in. And it's 8 p.m. and I just finished working and now I have no time. And then I'm mad at myself for not accomplishing it. But it really helps me ground myself and, again, not to beat a dead horse, but fill my cup so I can be there for anything that comes at me during the day. So if I can do that in the morning, like you went on your run today, you're like, hardest part of the day is over. And that's the truth, bro. Like just conquer it first thing. But it doesn't have to be like an aggressive, like hitting the punching bag or working out, lifting like heavy weight. Like just conquering like an early morning and like a nice like Zen routine is also incredible.
It completely sets the tone for the rest of your day.
100%. And then no matter what comes at me during the day, like I feel like I'm ready for it. Yeah. Whether it's like CRA calling me or whatever, which they've stopped because I took care of it. But that stuff used to, no, I swear.
Those are the tax people.
Used to stress me out like tremendously. And I'm like, I would get afraid. But now like, in that routine, like it's just like, yep, I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it. And I could be there for my girlfriend. I'm a better like dog dad. I'm a better friend and communicator. So for me, it's important because it just gets my mind right. So I can be the person I want to be for the rest of the day.
So then on the days where you wake up feeling like shit and you're not your best self and you might be a little anxious, a little depressed, a little angry, things are not working out. You wake up to a shitty email of some kind. How do you, you made it a point to say you reflect on it at the end of the day. And I'm curious as to why you do it at the end of the day. But how do you overcome that?
I've really learned that like staying positive is all in my power. Like it's my choice to look at things positive. I do honestly lately I've been really busy and I have been waking up anxious and stressed out and feeling like I'm behind and I'm not in the gym and I can sense that it's like taking a toll on me. But at the same time I remind myself who I want to be and how does that person react in all of these moments. Although I'm stressed, although I'm not dialed in, I'm not in my routine, I can still choose how I react to like each situation. So I might react stressed out or whatever initially, but I can talk myself off the hill now and be like, oh no, it's okay. Like we're doing things fine. I missed the gym this morning. Don't beat myself up over it. We'll get back tomorrow. We'll just try and stay positive here. So I really just try and stay positive. And I think it's just because I've learned that like I'm the only one who can help myself. Yeah. So I just try. That's all it is. I don't have like a secret.
What's interesting is for a long time, whenever I would have those kinds of days, I would almost be angry with myself for feeling the way I did.
Really?
Which made it worse.
Yeah.
Because it was a feeling of, I'm already feeling like shit. Now I'm angry because I feel like shit.
Yeah.
And now I feel almost guilty because I'm not being proactive. And I'm just lazying it around. And then one day I was like, you know what? I'm just going to feel it. I'm almost too tired to be angry. I'm just going to feel it. I'm just going to literally lay on the couch and do nothing. And the fact that the act rather of just feeling it out, like actually letting my emotions just run their course, I transitioned out of that feeling a lot quicker because I was like, oh, I actually gave myself the opportunity to feel the thing my body was telling me, as opposed to trying to fight it and then basically losing the whole day fighting it.
Yeah.
And that's, I've found, has worked for me.
Yeah, I feel like maybe you described it differently, but I kind of do a similar thing. Like I'm afraid of that whole day getting away from me. So I'll catch myself in those moments where like I am stressed.
Yeah.
And it might take me like an hour or two to snap out of it. Like I could be miserable for like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours even. I'm like, whoa, like this day, we're not getting this day back here. Let's, stop, become positive again. And it's just a simple little mental shift. And it, I don't know like if I even have like a routine around it or anything, but I could just like, I can almost turn it on and off now. But only when I notice it. Sometimes I don't notice that I'm being, arrogant or upset or whatever.
Oh yeah. My wife does a really good job of pointing that out to me. She's
like, really?
Yeah, but I want her to do that because we're in such close proximity to each other because she works from home most days.
Yeah.
That if I come out of my office and I'm just like, I've got a look on my face or I'm agitated and she's like, what's wrong? Even just that simple question makes me go, oh, maybe I'm upset about something and I didn't even realize that it triggered something. And then, I'll do the whole like, nothing, I'm fine. But I'll be thinking about it.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, there's something off. She's like, if you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. But there's something off. So,
Yeah, deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, yeah, you're right. There is something wrong. And then I start diving into it. And then I realize, I start tracing my steps and I'm like, oh, this email pissed me off. This text message annoyed me. This thing I forgot to do. That's on me. And I'm like, oh, I can see how those things started to compound. And then when I stop and I'm like, how important was that? How important was that? How important was that? No.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I even annoyed?
Yeah. Yeah. No, literally.
It's why is my morning ruined over
So that's the realization when I can like snap out of it. I'm like, why am I letting this ruin my day? My girlfriend's similar. She does like two things. I don't even know if she notices that she does this. Sometimes I'll get like stressed about something like quickly. She'll like see it just happen and she'll be like, hey, like today is going to be a good day. We're going to just let this go and we don't need to think about it. Today's going to be a good day, right? And then I'll be like, you know what? Yeah. And we'll kiss and that'll be it. But other days she like kind of just like ignores me when I'm like that. And then I can feel her silence. And I'm like, this is me doing this. This is bad. I don't want to be causing any like tension in the house. And then it like, I don't know if it's intentional, if she does it or not. But then I'm like immediately reflecting. I'm like, okay, I'm the reason there's tension here. Obviously I'm stressed out about stuff. I'm really hard to be around right now. Let's come back down to earth. Yeah. So there's like the two things that, again, I don't even know. Well, she notices she does the one thing, but I don't even know if she notices when she's silent.
Oh, she knows.
Yeah, she does.
They always know.
It helps me though. Like it does help me because, yeah, I don't know. And then I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So how do you show up for your friends? And I asked this with some context. You talked about, I think you said his name was Nico.
Yeah.
A smile shows up on your face because it's clear that Nico has such a profound impact on you in a positive way.
Yeah.
How do you reciprocate that for a Nico or for others in your life? Because I feel a responsibility now that I understand. I'm not perfect. I'm not an expert, but I'm human and I've lived through these things. So I feel a responsibility of showing up for the people in my life because they need me.
Yeah.
Or they don't even know that they need someone and they just someone to ask, hey, are you okay? In the same way that I needed someone to ask me, are you okay?
Yeah. I actually don't know if I do as much as I wish I did. I think I'm so hyper-focused on my grind right now that I catch myself not being a great friend, which is sad to say. But I also do think I am a really good friend because all my boys know, like, they can talk to me about anything. Like, I'm an open book. I'm easy to talk to. But I do think we all lift each other up, myself included. Like, I like to support my friends any way I can. But on, like, that deep level, you know what? It's kind of sad I haven't felt that connection in a while because I've just been so in my own world that I haven't had a heart-to-heart with a friend in some time. The last time I got even close to that, I was driving with my buddy Ryan. I had a car for 2 weeks for a partnership, and I don't drive outside of that. I had sold my car, and when him and I will hang out, we'll like go shoot photos or whatever. We meet up like, all right, let's get to work, boom, 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 and then leave. But we're like best friends. And I didn't realize until we had the car, we had to drive to our destination for 20 minutes. We actually finally got to talk. And I think that's a beautiful thing about cars that I'd never realized before. Like they promote conversation. You're stuck there with somebody. And it was nice. And I feel like I missed that. So it was about then, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I started reflecting like I don't feel like I'm being a good friend because I'm not having those conversations with my boys as much because we're all so busy. We don't really see each other, which is sad because that's important. I would feel guilty if I knew they needed me and I wasn't there for them. But I don't feel guilty because I don't feel like I'm needed. So perhaps
How do you know
I'm
for
not.
sure?
Yeah, I don't. I think I need to go home and make some calls, to be honest.
And you know, this isn't to challenge you or call you out rather, but it's to challenge you to think about it slightly differently because I very much resonate with you on that. I've become extremely more busy than I had ever anticipated.
Yeah.
And in the grind day to day, whereas normally I might send a note to my guys just to be like, hey guys, just checking in. Hope everyone's having a great week. Even just something like that. I have failed to do those.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until someone recently responded to one of those and said, actually, I'm not doing great. Do you think we could chat? That I was reminded that sometimes it's that prompt that's necessary.
Yeah.
And we're on our phones 24/7. I mean, mind you, I'm really trying to disconnect from my phone, but we're on our phones a lot. And I even now have gotten to the point where I schedule in a calendar, text so-and-so, call so-and-so, because I live by my calendar. And if it's in there, I'll do it.
Right.
If it's not,
You forget.
and it's not because I don't care. It's just there's so much else happening that sometimes like my brain just can't hold all that information and I'll forget something. And it's not for not caring or wanting to. It just happens. And then I feel bad. And so I'm like, okay, well, what's the solution to that? Do I either just continue this way or do I try to find a solution to it? Do I take that first step?
Yeah.
And it was as simple and as silly as putting it into a calendar to call my friends, to call my parents, to text my sister, to whatever.
Yeah. I'm going to do that.
Yeah. I even put people's birthdays in my calendar.
I do it all the
so
time.
I don't forget.
All the time.
And that way I can just message them a happy birthday. If nothing else, I want to wish them a happy birthday.
One of my best buddies, he just booked a one-way ticket to Paris. He left yesterday. I knew for like a month in advance, but I put it in my calendar like he's flying out today. So, make sure to call him. So we chatted for like an hour over FaceTime while he was in the airport. Wished him well and stuff, but the calendar helps, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, the birthday thing is a hack too, especially for people you like just meet. If it comes up and they mention their birthday, like because a lot of people talk right away, bro, and then they're like, "Oh, you like remember my birthday," and
well,
it's just a nice gesture.
Yeah. Like even if you're not, I mean, some people hearing that might go, "Oh, you're just trying to basically use something to your advantage." And while, yes, you can make that argument that if you like meet a contact or a network in your industry and you want to, build that relationship, yes, that's a hack. But at the same time, it's like, it's such a small gesture that makes them feel so good.
Yeah. But it's also the person like I want to be. I want to be somebody who wishes people happy birthday.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm not allowed. Like, let me, bro. Leave me alone. Yeah. It's not deep. Like, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hope you have a good
When's
day.
your birthday?
January 21st.
Okay.
Yeah, don't forget.
I'm going to write it down.
I'm going to get yours after.
So the content creation side of things.
Yeah.
That kind of just spiraled in a good way. Just
got lucky. Yep.
What don't people understand about content creating?
Oh my God.
Because it's not all rosy. Especially when you start doing partnerships and then you start to question, am I actually worth what a brand might be paying
you are.
me?
You always are.
Absolutely.
100%.
But it happens sometimes where you're like, man, they're paying me how much to do this? And then you're you're tied to how many views did you get, how many likes, how many shares, and then the data determines your value.
Yeah, not for me.
Okay.
Don't care.
Why?
Because they're paying me to do a job. I do the job. I don't care how it performs. It's an ad. I'm a commercial to you. Like I am, like I'm not going to say any company specifically because obviously I want to keep good relationships with my partners. But at the end of the day, like you're running a business and you're using me to sell your products. So if it doesn't perform well, I don't feel bad because I'm just a commercial to you. Obviously, like, we like each other and you keep coming back because I do a good job, but I'm a commercial at the end of the day. And if you want it to get views, you can put revenue behind it and you can boost it. Like, you're a business. Like, that's the mindset you have to have. For me, like, my partnerships are so separate in terms of mindset from my content that I create, because you do get attached to views on your content, like your own content. And I try to just let that go, because I am who I am. I make what I make. You watch it. It is what it is. But if I have a video I'm really proud of and I post it and gets no views, I'm like, oh, well, I put a lot of work into that one, So they're totally separate to me. But with that being said, I don't really partner with brands that I don't use or align myself with. So I do maintain some level of integrity that way. Yeah. Like, there's some brands where it doesn't matter what the number is. Like, I would just say no. And then there's some brands, they walk the line if the number's big enough, maybe, but that's very rare. But what people don't understand about content, I don't know. I would say it depends on what lens you're asking that question through. Like, is this what people don't understand who might want to become content creators, or just if you're listening, what's it like to be one?
I think people have a sense of what it's like to be one. I think there's enough creators out there that talk about that journey. I'm curious, what's something that maybe, okay, you know what, let's reframe it. What's something you didn't realize would be part of this job, where you're constantly creating content?
I mean, at the very beginning, I didn't even know it was a job, to be honest. I found out one day that you can make money from it. I'm like, how? They're like, through brand partnerships. I'm like, what's that? I had no idea. I made my first $500. I was on cloud 9, bro. I was like, this is amazing.
Now, if I could do this every day.
Yeah, no, literally. It was so sick. It's the best feeling. Just to be that, like, naive again would be so special. Can you repeat the question? I feel like I lost track.
Yeah. What did you not realize about becoming a content creator? What's something that surprised you?
Oh, man. What did I not realize about becoming a content creator?
Someone once told me that they struggled with wrapping their head around how they had to be on all the time. And they couldn't separate their social life from their personal life. And they couldn't live the moments that they were there. I think you and I briefly talked about that too, where sometimes you get to experience these really amazing things, and people that see your content are like, wow, that's so cool, you got to experience it, but you experienced it almost through a little screen. Yeah. Even though you were there in person. You didn't really get to be present.
Yeah. I think that's true for anybody though. Right. Like, even like you go to a concert, you're living through your phone. Yeah. I don't think that's exclusive to content creators, but in that context, we were at a dinner where I was contracted to take content. So I was being paid and normally if I were to go to an event, I don't take a single piece of content ever, because I prefer to live those experiences.
Interesting.
Like, I really think that's important, because you can get lost in the sauce and just like, it's a slippery slope. But I don't have any issues like, I don't have like a separation of social and like social media life and personal life. Like, everything you see of me, like, is just like, I'm a homebody. Like, I stay home, I film my content, I like my outfits, I hang out with my close friends, like 5 or 6 close friends, and that's kind of it. Like, I don't dive too deep into that world, to be honest. But what's something I didn't know about being a content creator? I didn't really know. I don't know. I didn't know it could be a full-time job. I also didn't know how many content creators there were.
There's a lot.
Everyone
has become a creator.
Yeah.
And I don't say that in a bad way. I mean, even businesses have become creators because they're realizing that there's value in this. I had a conversation recently with someone who's doing an incredible... So this guy is building, Rajan. God, I hope I pronounced his name right. He's building an Airbnb in Virginia. And he's basically documenting his entire story online. And in his research, he found out that a company paid a similar service provider, someone else that was building a cabin retreat, an extra $1 million on the sale of the property, because a lot of the bookings came through social media.
No way.
And so the social platform of that retreat was valued at $1 million on top of that. And so I think businesses in general are understanding that, I mean, you see it, big banks governments. Everyone is realizing that you need to be online. You need to be creating content because it can significantly boost your profile. It could open up a ton of opportunities. You also meet some amazing people online.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you hope that you can build real relationships because most of them are surface level, but you can network with a lot of amazing people. But creating the content, you don't know what door that's going to open. And I try to remind myself of that. I mean, I sometimes think of myself as a content creator, but other times I'm like, I don't want to think. I know. It's weird. It's very weird. I think it's because I feel like this is more of a mission I'm on.
Okay, cool.
Versus I'm doing this for content, right? Like this podcast is not for content creation purposes. It's to drive change in the way men live, the way they show up in the world.
Yeah, I understand.
And the content that comes out of it is a bonus, a byproduct of this that hopefully continues to allow us to reach audiences globally, let's say. But I've come to this point in my life now where I'm like, I feel like I don't care about social media. I understand the value of it, so I will continue to use it the way I think it's meant to be used. I don't think it's, some people use it just to like, hey, this is just me on a regular, and they don't really care about anything else, and that's fine. I intend to use it as a business, to boost business. But for the most part, I actually don't like being on it. I actually don't want to be on it. I want to, like, I've deleted apps. I've restricted how often I'm on apps because I'm like, this is wasting my time.
100%. I would if I could. I always tell my girlfriend, if we win the lottery today, my phone is going in the garbage and we're going off grid.
Yeah.
You won't even be able to find us. We'll send like a letter to our family that this is the address we're staying at for the next 6 months.
By pigeon carrier.
Yeah. Come find us if you want to say hello. I'm off. I'm done. I feel that. I think one thing I didn't realize about being a content creator at the time, it took me a long time to kind of get to the answer to this question because I don't really think too deeply about these things sometimes, but is the responsibility we have as creators. I feel like at first you become a creator because, well, at least for me, I can only speak through my lens. Like I fell in love with photography. So being a musician in the past, having given that up, I lacked a creative outlet for like 3 to 4 or 5 years. And I found film photography, fell in love with it. From there, and I've always loved fashion. So I kind of combined the two. And then from there, it turned into me like making outfit videos, whatever. And then, got popular a little bit, grew and, made $500 here, whatever there. And I was like super excited. I was like, this is fun. I'm doing something. Wow. But the whole time I'm bartending and working real estate, whatever it is, struggling to pay bills. And I'm just having fun. Then there comes a point where it's now turning into a job. And I'm starting to see how impressionable the people who follow me are and how I can say one thing and influence somebody to purchase something that they might not have bought before. And to me, that's like a large responsibility. And I feel like I have to choose my words very carefully when I make videos, especially like on YouTube. I do long form. So I talk a lot like in depth, and I like to really give context. Like, you don't need any of this stuff. Like, this was sent to me for free. It smells like this. If it's a perfume, like this is what it smells like. And I really enjoy it. But would I have bought this with my own money? Probably not. Sometimes, yes. So I feel like I have to be really careful with just the things I say and do, because like there's young, impressionable people who might be like 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, watch these videos, making like purchases because of me. And that to me is like a big responsibility that I didn't know was a part of content at all. I thought just have fun, make videos, whatever. You want to buy something, you're an idiot. Like, I never knew it was a thing. So I try to really remind myself of that every time I make content and every time I show items, especially because a lot of them are big ticket items. A lot of them cost a decent amount of money and people are going to buy them because I have them. That wasn't something I realized until like a year and a half ago. And I think about that a lot when I make content. Yeah.
I got one more question for you.
Let's hear it.
I want you to think about that time in your life when you're really going through it. You're at your lowest. What's one thing, one piece of advice you would give yourself that you didn't get at the time? Something you needed to hear.
Do I have time to sit on this before I answer it?
A couple minutes.
Okay. I think I would have liked to hear somebody tell me they were proud of me. I'm going to cry right now. But I don't think I heard that a lot at that stage of my life.
Why does that matter?
I don't know.
Were you proud of yourself?
No, I don't think so. I'm proud of myself now,
Should
for
be.
sure.
You've done some amazing things. You've earned it.
Thank you. I feel weird being here, considering the guests that you have. Actually, I'm surprised to even be at this table. But yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
Well, I know we've only met briefly, but just hearing your story, I'm very proud of how far you've come with the tools that you had
Thank you.
and the conscious decision to consistently expand that toolbox we talked about.
Thank you.
I mean it. You deserve to hear it.
Thank you. I'm trying to hold it together right now. This was nice.
Thank you for coming by.
I appreciate you having me.
This was wonderful. We should
Yeah.
definitely do a part 2 after you launch your fragrance company.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you more about it
Yeah.
after.
It'll be a full circle moment.
Yes, sir.
Where can people find you?
It's Charles Mackenzie. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
Amazing. Charles, thank you so much, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, everybody.